Oh, wait a minute. Let me put my phone on. All right, I'm rolling.
All right. Share with us your relationship to Dr. Starks, please.
My relationship to Dr. Starks started over 40 years ago. He was my pastor and such an awesome man of God. I learned so much under him, and when I started my ministry, I started ministry under him. He was instrumental in my coming to Memphis Theological Seminary. He told me, if you're going to be in a man's world, then you've got to be as good or better than a man. So you're going to have to go and learn. And so I came to Memphis Theological Seminary.
Very nice. That means you had a very intimate and personal relationship in that journey. Do you have some memories about family or highlights about his relationship in the church or the community that you'd like to share?
I would like to share one of the facts that Dr. Starks and my husband were very, very close, very intimate friends. And his family and my family were very closely knitted. His daughter, Dr. Amela Starks Umoja's birthday is on the same day as my daughter's birthday. And so we've always shared a very close relationship. I would just say that when I was contemplating getting married, I was really concerned, and Ms. Starks, who is now deceased, told me, that's a good man, so you need to get married. So you know, we had a very close relationship, the whole family.
Dr. Starks was very involved in the community. He served as a pastor and a community activist. What struggles or challenges do you feel that he faced, and how do you think he overcame those?
Dr. Starks really faced a lot of struggles and challenges because his thinking was so far above the thinking of that day. He was so adamant about, number one, educations for African Americans, and he was so involved in the sanitation struggle and just really civil rights, and he was very close to a lot of the Caucasian pastors, Jewish pastors. He just crossed all lines, and as a parishioner at the church, we had the opportunity to fellowship with so many other denominations because of him. He was never afraid to speak out, and of course sometimes this was not good, but he wasn't afraid. He would always say what he meant, and he would really stand up for what he believed in.
Very good. We are in our 27th year as the Starks Scholarship Dinner and Award Ceremony. You have been with this since the very first one. So can you share a bit about the origins of the organization and what you feel our mission is?
You know, I have been with the Starks Celebration Banquet ever since the origination of it. Matter of fact, the Lord gave me the mind to name this after the Reverend Dr. Henry Logan Starks. He's such a tremendous man. You can tell I love him. When we started, it kind of started like a sack lunch, and we were going to observe Black history and do some things here. And then it just evolved after his demise into a banquet, which we went to churches and had it really rather local with the pastors that had graduated from the seminary and myself. And now I'm just so elated. It has evolved into something that has encompassed the whole community. We have reached beyond religion and gone into the community and people who are doing things that are really making a difference for Memphis, which is what he would have wanted. I just see such a great change in the format and the way the banquet is transitioning.
And with the change and the transition, what do you think is still at the core of the reason that we do this?
You know, the core of the reason that we do this banquet is not only to provide scholarships for deserving African American students, it's also to bring the community in, that we would have community awareness, and then that we would encompass the people in the community that do not know about the seminary. This is such a phenomenal place. I hadn't heard of it until Dr. Starks told me about it. And so I am really, really adamant about making sure that the community knows that we're here.
Last question. What do you think is the lasting legacy of Dr. Henry Logan Starks?
The lasting legacy of Dr. Henry Logan Starks is that everybody is somebody. He made that clear from the very inception of the church where we grew up until now. All the students at Memphis Theological Seminary always heard him say it. Everybody knows that he would always say, "You are somebody." So I think his legacy is embodied in that, and that this banquet will help to assure that those who really, really want to extend their ministries and really become all that God wants them to be, that they'll be able to do that.
Very good. Is there anything, Bishop, that I have not asked you that you really want to share?
What I would share, I think most of all, is that this banquet has really made a difference in my life as well as the life of so many students. And it's only because the community has come together to make sure that these scholarships are available. I could not have graduated from Memphis Theological Seminary had it not been for a scholarship that was given to me. And I will always do my very best to make sure that money is available here for students.
That's it. That's perfect.
Anyway, he was over the scholarships, and I had left the Med.
Mm-hmm.
No, I didn't. I left UT
Okay.
to come here.
Okay.
And I didn't have the money to go to school. I almost saw his name right then. Oh. And I went to him, and I told him I wanted to come to the seminary, but I didn't have the money. I couldn't quit working and pay for this. I almost saw his name again. He said, "Well, we don't have any black money." I said, "What? What is black money?" He said, "What I mean is that the only scholarship money we have here," almost thought of his name, "is what white people give. The Cumberland Presbyterians and other white people have
Bishop,
given."
I don't know why we don't record this. You don't want to say it.
Well, it may upset him if I say it like that.
No, okay, we may not use it, but can we please record it? Can you
I've
please
already
share?
started.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Keep going. Thank
I've
you,
already,
Karen.
when I
Thank
sat
you,
down, I
Karen.
went ahead and pushed record.
Oh,
Thank
no.
you, Karen. Okay, so finish.
But he, I almost thought of his name. I got to think, well as I knew it. Anyway, he said, "I would love to help you." He said, "But we don't have any black money here." And I said, "Black money? What is that?" He said, "We only have white donors. We only have Cumberland Presbyterians and whites who have given money for scholarships. So I don't have any black money. Black churches don't give money, and we don't have any black donors, so I don't have any money to give you." And I said, "What?" I said, "But I tell you what, if you will help me, you give me a scholarship. When I get out, I will make sure you have black money. I will always make sure there's black money at Memphis Theological Seminary. And not another black student will have to come to you and you tell them you only have white money."
And so when you graduated, what you did?
When I graduated, that's when we really started the banquet.
Okay.
When I graduated.
Okay.
The first thing I did was not the banquet. Let me take it away. I did the Alston family first.
Okay.
The Alston Family Evangelistic Association. That was the first money that came from me.
Okay.
And I had a contest called Queen for a Day.
Okay.
And the different churches would put their members in, and they would raise the money, and then I would get the merchants throughout the city to give gifts. And they got televisions and all kind of big, it was really Queen for a Day. They got trips to Haiti and all expenses in hotels and just all kinds of things. And so I raised the money, and started the Alston family. I did it instead of my name, my husband, I just did Alston family. Then after that, Dr. Starks died. And then I had two things going.
Okay.
So we still continue to put the money in the Alston family, which is perpetual.
Yes.
It's going on still,
Okay.
as well as the Starks Fund. So both of those I started.
And you started Starks after you started the Alston?
Yes.
After Dr. Starks passed?
Yes. The original activity was a Black History. We had no Black History observance here. And so I asked, could I please come, and we made literature and we brought food so the students would come, and we gave them information about different Black leaders. So it started as Black History.
Okay.
And then when he died, then we changed it and started it for a banquet in his honor. But it really started as a Black History celebration.
Okay.
That's
And
how
then
it started.
The banquet is how you funded the
Right,
scholarship.
right.
That is amazing. It's history that needs to be told.
Yeah, but, oh, why can't I think of his
I don't
name?
know, because all I know is J. David Hester.
No. It
This
was
is
way
the
before
admissions-
J.
this
David
is the
Hester.
registrar, this is the admissions guy.
Such a sweet man. Why can't I remember? I will tell you his name.
Okay.
But he was so good to me.
Okay.
And at the
I
end,
think that's essential.
when
That it
I
wasn't a
when
personal
when I
thing.
came, no, I mean he was sincere. He said, we don't have black money. I just never heard of such. I thought black money. I'm trying to figure out what is black money. I just never heard of such.
He just didn't have any money.
He didn't have any. He didn't have any for black students, and I just thought it was awful.
So between your family and your work for Dr. Starks, you created
That's two,
scholarships that
two
we-
scholarships.
that we still receive today.
Yes. Alston Scholarship Fund got up to like 125,000 or something, and then the Starks has been perpetual. We just constantly, and I've seen such growth. I mean, just tremendous growth in the banquet. Whereas we went from a church banquet with 50 or 60 people, now we're up to 800 people, 600, 800 people, and with sponsorships and what have you. It's really made a difference. I don't think of his name, and I'm going to be so sorry
That's all right.
because he was such a wonderful man. When I got ready to graduate, I got into trouble again financially, and he laughed at me, and he said, guess what? I paid all of your graduation fees. He paid for everything.
Oh, my.
He said, we're going to have black money, right, when you leave? I said, yes.
Oh, that's nice. So,
So
the two of you all worked that thing out.
Yes.
He made sure you.
He made sure I graduated. He made sure I had the fees and everything.
That is wonderful.
And so
That's
I
a
will never
wonderful
forget that.
story.
Yes.
That's wonderful.
So I'm really committed. I'm very committed to this.
To this work. Yeah, it's your baby.
Yes.
Yeah, I was about to sit back down. I said, look like I need to record this. I segue into that, back it up a little bit and go. Well, hold on a second. Open it up. Okay, kind of back it up a little bit. And
About
move
the
into that.
scholarship money and
Yeah. When I wanted to come to the seminary, Dr. William Ingram was instrumental in making sure that I was able to come. I went to his office to ask about funds, and he told me, we don't have any black money. And I said, black money? What is that? And he said, well, we don't have African Americans that give, or churches or leaders that give to the scholarship fund. It's really all white churches, Cumberland Presbyterian churches, and leaders that provide the money. And so Dr. Ingram was just so wonderful. He made sure that I did get into the seminary as a full-time student.
And so after your promise to him and the commitment that you guys made, the bond that you had was that you would...
Well, I promised him he would never have to say again that we don't have black money for the African American students. I told him if he would help me get through school, when I got out, I would make sure there was always black money at Memphis Theological Seminary for the African American students. So I'm committed. I'm committed to the banquet, the Alston Family Evangelistic Association Fund, and whatever I can do to make sure that the students have the money that they need.